Welcome everyone to the 2021 Celebration of Teaching. For those who I have not met, my name is Nancy Turner and I'm the Director of Teaching and Learning Enhancement here at the University of Saskatchewan. As we engage in this wonderful virtual celebration, I want to start by acknowledging that the Saskatoon campus of the University of Saskatchewan and many of us joining the event today are on Treaty 6 territory and the homeland of the Métis. I recognize that we may also have people joining us from other territories to celebrate colleagues and loved ones. And as we all take time to start this event in a good way, by acknowledging the land we are on, we pay our respect to the First Nation and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship to one another. For me, as a settler who grew up on Treaty 4 territory, this land acknowledgement is a way to kind of ground myself in this place and to the land and all elements that surround me daily, but also to recognize the people of the land there where I now am able to and privileged to live and work. And also it's a way to remind myself of the importance of relationships as the basis for my work and I guess our work as treaty people. Certainly, the context that we have all been in this past year has called us to consider the importance of relationships and how we build and maintain them, no matter what our circumstances are. I think their importance, certainly in my view, has only been intensified as we have continued to work, study, and live in all of our varied virtual spaces, which we can see. While we have not often left our rather confined physical spaces, our need to connect with each other and to support each other and to continue to act with compassion and care for each other, I just think could not be more evident. And I have a suspicion that these ideas will come up in some of the comments we hear from our wonderful educators we're here to celebrate today, as of course they're integral to good teaching and learning. In thinking about this fabulous group that we are here to celebrate, I want to note that these are a group out of hundreds of educators who, especially over this past year, have gone above and beyond to create meaningful learning environments for our students in these really exceptional circumstances. And that really seems like an understatement, but exceptional circumstances. We're really, really fortunate to have outstanding educators here at the University of Saskatchewan. So the fact that each of the award recipients that are being celebrated today are being recognized amongst those outstanding group, it's a real testament to the quality of the work that they've all done. I also want to note that perhaps this year more than any other, we could probably hand out an award to so many across our campus for their support of teaching and learning. I'd say, you know, from frontline workers who were there to open our buildings and continue to be there to ensure that we have access, that they're safe, that these activities can proceed when they need to happen on campus, to all of the faculty who have dedicated such considerable thought and time and energy to designing and then delivering meaningful learning to support our students. And then to continue that support throughout the terms that we've had in this remote context. And certainly to all the staff who supported faculty and instructors and students in new and innovative ways. And of course, our wonderful academic leaders who have communicated, who have listened, and made challenging decisions and supported implementation. I think we could give an award to everyone in so many different ways. It's been a really challenging, maybe I just speak for myself, but exhausting, but also absolutely inspiring year. And what we have been able to accomplish in teaching and learning is extraordinary. So thank you to everyone who has come together as a community to continue to teach, continue to learn. We certainly have so much to celebrate. And I'm so pleased that we have this exceptional group of educators to celebrate today. So this is our second virtual celebration of teaching since the Provost Awards began in 2010. And I'm really grateful to my colleague, Winona Partridge, who has orchestrated this event, again, so beautifully, and to colleagues in media production who are managing the event for us and allowing so many to join in for these celebrations through the live stream. We have 2 hours scheduled for the event, which are going to start with some words from our provost, who we're thrilled to have with us. And then we're going to follow that with award presentations. And at the end, we're going to have a brief opportunity to highlight some celebratory comments that are made in the chat. So I know our presenters and our award recipients can use the chat that we've got in WebEx, but others are welcome to also add their comments into the live stream chat. And please do use that as a means to kind of add your congratulations to colleagues. At the very end of the program, we're also going to have an opportunity for award recipients and presenters to all have their cameras on and their mics on for a round of applause for everyone. So that's how the next couple of hours is going to roll out. We now all have the absolutely wonderful opportunity to hear from our Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Irini. This is Dr. Irini's first time at the Celebration of Teaching, as she's just joined the institution in February. So we're just absolutely thrilled that she could be here with us today. I know that most of you present today and watching will be aware that Dr. Irini is an accomplished education researcher and educator. And I've also been really fortunate to come to know her as an exceptional and strategic leader, and also just a wonderfully authentic person. So I am really pleased to invite Dr. Irini to share some words with us all. Dr. Irini?
Thank you so much, Nancy. What a wonderful way to come into this incredible gathering today. Thank you for the reminder right from the beginning that where any one of us goes, so many others are with us. So we really do welcome our award-winning teachers and their guests who join us today. I say let's actually give a big wave from those that I can see immediately in front of me. Let's give a wave out to all of those who are out there, from our guests and our colleagues. We see you somewhere out there, and we're so grateful that you can be here for this celebration. So good afternoon, everybody. Bonjour à tous. For those from within the Cree Nation, we say Tonse. From Dakota, Halkota, Dena, Atlanate, Lakota, Halkola, Michif, Tanchi, Nakota, Halkona, Soto, Arnin. And I invite you, however the languages flow within you, to signal the greetings as well, and to say those if you wish to. The ones that you're seeing here that are our award-winning teachers for this year. So the celebration of teaching has grown with our community at the University of Saskatchewan through the years, adapting to change, as we all must do. This year, as Nancy has said, has been a year of exceptionality. It's been notable for the remote teaching, and it has been notable for the stamina that has come with teaching. And it certainly takes motivation. It takes an inherent love of teaching to bring forth all the needed adaptation and change. It brings forth the continued commitment to our students and their success. So we're coming together again this year online to recognize excellence in teaching, as we did last year for the first time, and as we've become accustomed to meeting since the global pandemic first required it of us. The past year saw our teachers demonstrate incredible dedication to and innovation in their craft in support of students' learning and success. Interim Provost Dr. Melissa Just came last year for this celebration and is with us again because of the joy that comes from sharing those stories of the incredible achievements through teaching. So I say a welcome to you, Melissa, for being here. We saw in this past year the successful adoption of a new learning management system called Canvas, and the wide use of teaching technologies across all areas of campus. We use these tools because we believe in the access to university learning and to the learning that comes from this university, the place where the university the world needs. These efforts led to students from all over the world being able to continue or begin their post-secondary studies, some of whom joined classes in differing time zones from their home countries. Students were able to connect with us from all over the world in new and substantial ways due to the innovations of our teachers. President Stoichev and I have discussed this celebration. We know the many hours our teachers have dedicated to learning new technologies and making themselves available to students online at all hours to ensure learning and success could continue, no matter where a student was located or what sort of access to the internet or hardware that students experienced. President Stoichev says this has been, quote, unbelievable. He's noted that we are one of only 3 universities across Canada's 97 universities to have experienced an increase in enrolments during this time. And he describes this as an unbelievable commendation of your excellence in teaching. Teachers and their students from across campus tell us of the challenges they have faced this past year and also of their triumphs in meeting those challenges. We're going to hear some of those stories today as award recipients are announced. We'll hear from our fall and spring master teachers who are recognised at our university's highest level for their skill in teaching and leadership in education. We'll hear from those teachers put forward by each of the 13 colleges that instruct our more than 20,000 undergraduate students and who were awarded a Provost's College Award in Outstanding Teaching. We will hear from those awarded a campus-wide Provost's Themed Award in Outstanding Teaching, including the categories of New Teacher, Supportive Teaching and Learning, and Graduate Teacher. It's impossible to understate the importance of rewarding and recognising excellence in teaching. Teaching matters. We all remember our very best teachers, and I imagine we could bring to mind words that describe what it means to be a great teacher. Here are some of the words that are in the letters of nomination for the recipients in today's ceremony. These teachers of excellence are ones of pride, of care, of pedagogy that transcends the mode of delivery. They are ethical, extraordinary, talented, dedicated, open, helpful, exemplary, steadfast, committed, leaders, respectful, innovative, outstanding, devoted. They are the most amazing, and then you fill in the gap. They are skillful. They care for, not just care about, each student. Teachers of excellence in this award ceremony today are reflective. They give continuous feedback and encouragement that makes students ready to be responsible for their own learning. They are purposeful, objectives focused. They are unique. They are once in a generation type of talent. And, said the nominators, they are deserving. They are deserving of this recognition. So, with our Vice Provost teaching, learning, and student experience, with the entire team across the university, we want to say thank you to our award recipients today. We also want to say thank you to the nominators for your efforts in compiling such extraordinary packages of nomination. And of course, we want to say thank you to the students. We recognise the important contributions of our more than 4,000 graduate students, and therefore the important role that graduate mentorship plays in supporting our university's mission and vision. We are going to hear today from the College of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies and from the recipient of Distinguished Graduate Mentor Award. In my time here so far, I've also heard of the efforts by our leaders across campus to support our teachers and our students. And we do want to acknowledge your hard work and thank you for your commitment to service. We acknowledge as well, as I say, all those who nominated their colleagues, and we thank you for being here to celebrate with us all today. Teachers in universities committed to excellence in teaching, research, and service make so much possible. Teachers in this university committed to excellence make so much possible, more than we can imagine. As you can tell from my voice, I have chosen to come from Aotearoa, New Zealand, to Canada, and it is here in Saskatoon that I will complete my first decade in Canada and become a Canadian citizen. I chose to come here because of Canada's record of excellence in teaching and because of the remarkable impact that universities of excellence can make on the lives of students. It's my passion to join with you in making a difference through teaching. I remember one time when I was in Wellington, the capital of New Zealand. I was in town for a meeting. There's a cable car because there's hills there. There's a cable car that takes you up behind the government buildings, up to the very top where there's an observatory. It was a bit of a stormy, cold kind of day, and I arrived sort of dripping inside this marble-floored observatory. I was finding my way through it. There were different corridors and such, and there was a display because it was partly a museum as well. And down the corridor was a large room that basically had nothing in it other than perhaps a chair or two in the middle. And I saw along one white wall a hole in the wall. And I walked down in that room towards the hole in the wall. It was about this size in front of me when I got there. And I saw an object on a plinth. It was a knobbly sort of object. And then I saw the label to the side, and it said moon rock. It was a rock from the moon. I was able to reach in and touch that rock from the moon, and it was like something electrifying to touch the moon. And I think about that experience when I think about what's possible when we have exceptional teachers. All the interconnections between the science, the arts, the policy framing that makes it possible for funding to come through, the graduate studies that then make it possible for further research to happen, the encouragement to connect with community, the ambition, the passion that comes through. I hope that we together will continue to teach in ways that take us to the moon and beyond. And I think this award ceremony gives us a hint of the course that we are on together. So congratulations, everybody. I close off now and hand back to Nancy to say, can't wait for the rest of the ceremony and to hear more stories of the remarkable teaching that is the University of Saskatchewan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rini. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing those inspiring stories and your passion for this work, and the support of teaching and learning is just so evident and infectious. So thank you so much for sharing those words with us. I am now going to welcome Dr. Patty Mcdougall, who's the Vice Provost Teaching, Learning and Student Experience. And Patty has the enviable role of announcing our 2020 and 2021 Master Teachers, so our fall and spring Master Teachers, as well as the 2021 Provost College and Themed Award recipients. So Patty, over to you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, and let me begin by saying kia ora to Provost Irini, and we're, you know, I'm having one of those days. My face, I've been smiling so much seeing all of you and listening to these introductory words. It's one of those days where your face is hurting. Maybe you're getting married or you're graduating or you're just absolutely full of joy, and that's how I'm feeling to spend the afternoon doing this with you in a virtual mode. I think I'm also just so excited because I have real shoes on today, because I left the house to come over to the office for the first time in 13 months to make sure I would have reliable internet to talk to you and to celebrate you this afternoon. I offer my thanks to Provost Irini for those wonderful introductory words. And it will not surprise you, any of you, in any way, to hear that she herself is a National Teaching Excellence Award winner and a winner of the Alan Blizzard Award. And, you know, we've had a baker's dozen of magical weeks with Provost Irini, and we're to the point now where it just don't remember the time before. And so we're absolutely so fortunate, as you've heard today, I think. Also, just quickly want to say a huge thanks to Winona for organizing, to our colleagues Dawn and Terry in media production. These are all my team members, and I'm just so proud of them and how much they put into this event so that we can really and truly lift you up this afternoon and honor you for the contributions that you have made to your community, that you have made to our community. We know that we are honoring you for what you love to do. We know that. We are honoring you for your passion and your commitment. And in that way, I know it feels just ever so slightly uncomfortable, but nevertheless, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So get ready to be lifted up. I have such incredible respect and admiration for each of you and all that you have accomplished, and all of those who have come before you to be honored with and through these awards. And my thanks, of course, to Nancy for doing such a great job to navigate us through. So here we go. We're here together today in the way that we have been for over a full year now, online and at a distance. So apart, as the president would say, apart and yet at the same time together. We're going to recognize excellent teaching, and we're going to celebrate the accomplishments of our wonderful colleagues. And I want to tell you, thank you so much. Thank you to those of you who are receiving awards for being here today, and also to all of your supporters, your nominators who are on the live stream. I can't see the live stream, but I know that all of you are out there and you're cheering on our wonderful colleagues. Your presence in this space helps us to continue to be together as a community in these times. So we'll begin this afternoon with the celebration of our master teachers announced last fall, and then again most recently for our upcoming graduation. And you might already know that the Master Teacher Award is the highest level of recognition of teaching excellence at the University of Saskatchewan. And our most recent teachers who joined that group have demonstrated incredible leadership in teaching, in service, in commitment to learning. So they are the best of the best, and their dedication to students is really second to none. Our fall 2020 Master Teacher Award went to Laureen Mcintyre, who is here. Laureen was nominated by another master teacher who came before her, who it was our absolute privilege to work with and to love, and that of course is our dear colleague and friend, the late Joe Garcia. Laureen now serves as our executive director of the Johnson Shoyama Graduate School of Public Policy, before which she was a long-serving department head of the Political Studies Department. She led our graduate transformative skills project as a faculty fellow within the Gwenna Moss Centre for Teaching and Learning. Laureen is supremely organized. She sets perfect example for us of balancing her work with her love of exercise, yoga, I'm throwing in there, her connection with family, and in the words of our wonderful colleague, Joe Garcia, she embodies mastery in in teaching in at least two spheres: her effort to master the art of teaching excellence for the benefit of all her undergraduate and graduate students in her classes, and also her efforts to foster a spirit, culture, and practice of teaching excellence among colleagues that benefits students enrolled in various programs and courses, well beyond her own classroom, department, or school. So I would like to welcome Laureen as our master teacher. Congratulations, Laureen, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I am very honored to receive this award and to have been nominated by my late colleague and mentor, Joe Garcia. I think about Joe constantly, and I feel very privileged to have worked with him, to have learned from him, and I hope that I am continuing to move his legacy forward. One thing about Joe is that he was so incredibly committed to teaching and to students and to having the university be meaningful to the place where we are, and that is something that matters greatly to me. One thing I've really focused on with my own teaching, and that I find very motivating about teaching, is helping students connect what we're doing in the classroom to their lives beyond the classroom and to their futures in employment and as citizens. And this is something that I'm seeing more and more attention to in educational discussions, and I'm very excited about that. And I very much look forward to being part of these conversations moving forward. I'd like to note one thing that I'm not sure everyone is aware of, but I am myself a University of Saskatchewan alum. I did my undergraduate degree at the University of Saskatchewan, and my choice to become a professor was not inspired by a political scientist. It was actually by an English teacher who was so dynamic. I went home that day and I said to my dad, you know, that'd be really great to have that job. And he said, well, why don't you have that job? I was like, oh, that never occurred to me that this could be something. I went to a different discipline, but it was really the spark was there. And my dream job was always, wow, wouldn't it be amazing to work at the University of Saskatchewan, one of the best, and certainly I think the most beautiful universities around. And so to be back here and to be awarded the Master Teacher Award is very touching and very meaningful to me. So thank you everyone for being here. I wish we could all be together, and congratulations to all of you as well. Thanks, Patty.
Thank you, Laureen. Thank you for that. Wonderful, wonderful. You'll need to tell us later who that English prof was. Fantastic. We'll also welcome our 2021 Spring Master Teacher, Lee Swanson, who is here today. And Lee was nominated by his colleague and also a fellow master teacher, the wonderful Vince Bruni-Bossio. And could I just point out, because I love these things, that Joe Garcia and Vince Bruni-Bossio are linked as uncle and nephew. Wonderful family connection. I remember well when we awarded Vince his and honored Vince for his award. But Vince was kind enough to take the time and energy to put forward a nomination for Lee Swanson, and we're very grateful for that because Lee is remarkable. So Lee teaches in the Edwards School of Business and acts as the Edwards Enhancement Chair in Business. He has impacted the entrepreneurship climate on our campus through his tireless commitment to student mentorship, building community entrepreneurship connections, and reaching out to connect our students with opportunities beyond campus to grow their skills. And may I add to that I myself have sent students to Lee with a little brief email. Lee, would you mind? I really think this young person could benefit from a quick chat. And every single time it's absolutely, Patty, absolutely. Lee conceptualized and developed the Inventure initiative, which supports students from all colleges to start or expand their own businesses and to realize the opportunities and synergies that come from connecting with other students from across disciplines. Beyond our campus, Lee worked with Northern Indigenous communities to foster authentic relationships and to share research outcomes in Cree and Dene with local communities. Lee's commitment to learning and support of students from across campus and beyond is inspiring and deserving of his welcome to join the Master Teachers. We will have more to say about Lee as we get to our convocation celebrations in June. But for this afternoon, Lee, we offer you our congratulations and pass the mic to you.
Thank you so much, Patty, and hello, everyone. I am honored to join Laureen and the other Master Teachers as a group of people who deeply value teaching excellence and effective student learning. Thank you for this great honor. I'm very humbled by this recognition and grateful for it. As Dr. Irini pointed out, we tend to remember some of our excellent teachers from the past, and I also have several from my past too that I'd like to mention in a moment here. Thank you so much to Dr. Vince Bernie-Bossio and my colleagues at the Edwards School of Business for developing the nomination package. Thank you to our graduates and my colleagues who wrote the letters of support, and thank you to my coworkers and students and family and friends for all of your support. Like Laureen, I'm also a graduate of the University of Saskatchewan, proud graduate from here. And I would like to also acknowledge the teachers and mentors from my past, including many of my professors from here, along with my parents and family members and friends and high school teachers. And of course, my colleagues here at the University of Saskatchewan at the Edwards School of Business, who continually inspire me by their dedication to teaching and learning excellence and their leadership in helping others achieve ever higher levels of effectiveness. I also want to acknowledge our current and past students who have been a never-ending source of inspiration for me. It's always very gratifying to see our students and graduates achieving their goals and thriving in life, and to think, or at least hope, that those of us who are passionate about teaching and learning excellence might have played even a smaller role in helping guide them towards their successes. I've always been intrigued by maps. I like how they help us determine where we want to be and to help us visualize how we can get there by navigating the obstacles between where we are and where we want to be. I also like how, as we approach where we want to be, a good map helps us to look further and to imagine new destinations. To me, a map is a metaphor for the work that we do, in that we not only try to help our students imagine where they want to be, but we try and provide them with the tools to navigate there. We also try to help them look beyond what they currently imagine toward a whole new world of future possibilities. Alexander Tinfer said that the best teachers are those who show where to look but don't tell you what to see. Helping learners map out their futures, whether that's towards a career or towards future education or further education, to start their own business or some other goal, it's a noble pursuit that the people being honored here today have made their life work. They do this, we do this, not by telling but inspiring. Yeats said that education is not the filling of a pot, but the lighting of a fire, and the people being honored here today are experts at lighting that fire. Thank you to everyone here today for helping us celebrate excellence in teaching and learning. Thank you, Vince, for nominating me and the Edwards School of Business, and thank you to the other Master Teachers who won this award in the past for honoring me with it this year. I'm very, very humbled, deeply appreciative. Thank you so much, and congratulations to the other award recipients.
Lee, that's just so inspiring. And the idea of navigation, and just thank you for offering those words today. And we're so thrilled to see you join the ranks of our Master Teachers and to be a part of that. We'll turn next to the 2021 Provost Awards for Outstanding Teaching. And the Provost College Awards recognize excellence in teaching across all 13 colleges and schools that teach undergraduate students. We welcome each of the new Provost Award recipients, and we'll ask them to speak briefly, because you'll want to hear from them, I guarantee, after they have been announced. And we're also going to do this super cool, super fun transfer of the certificate. And you think it's digital, you think it's, it's not really happening, but in fact, I'm going to move it from my screen into the homes and office spaces of all of these individuals, because that's, as our provost has said, she started to talk to me in the words of holographs, teaching in holographs. And so if we can do holographs, we can do the transfer of certificates. So I'm going to start with Randy Kusher, who teaches in the Department of Plant Science in the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Randy is committed to broadening his students' perspectives, to indigenizing and the indigenization of his courses, continual development of his teaching, and contributing his leadership in teaching through his long membership on the Teaching, Learning, and Academic Resources Committee of Council. And it was my absolute pleasure to be on TLARC with Randy and to see him exercise his expertise in teaching and learning through that leadership, strategic leadership at the university. So Randy, congratulations and thank you. And here comes your award, Randy. Get ready, because here it comes. Here it's coming to you. Thank you.
Got it, Patty. Thanks very much. I'm really honored and grateful to receive the award. I often walked by the hallway under the library and wondered, how did all those people get such, how did they do it to become such great teachers? And so I have a vague idea now, at least. So to be honest, teaching I was a bit concerned about when I came to the university. It's 10 years ago tomorrow that I arrived after half a career in research. So I had really no teaching experience. And I was a bit concerned. I know my wife, who's a former high school teacher, convinced me I'd love it. You'll do a good job and it'll be a wonderful time. And she was right, as she usually is. That I've really enjoyed undergrad as well as the graduate students that I've had the pleasure to teach. So I wouldn't be possible though for me to have learned to teach reasonably well, I hope, without the Gwenna Moss Centre. So I just want to recognize the Gwenna Moss Centre. I've learned lots of good things from the centre, from the courses offered. And just a few people, there's lots of people there that helped me over the years, but I do want to highlight Heather Ross, Susan Benz, Sarah Zeman, and Aditi Garp, who've done some great work and offered me not only courses, but also just tips and just the chance sometimes to get some feedback. And I really want to recognize Ryan Bano because he's really had endless patience to teach an old dog new tricks because technology is not my strong point sometimes. Also not with the center, but Tyson Brown, learning Panopto was great. One other resource at the university, as you've mentioned, Patty, is TLARC. This was my first university level committee and I really enjoyed it. I learned so much from all the folks on TLARC. And I learned there's endless possibilities. So things like the experiential learning group that we formed, and that was really great because it allowed me to develop a course to go to Ecuador and take students to do an agricultural experience as well as a cultural experience 3 times now. So hopefully I'll be able to do it again in future. Just a couple more thank yous. I want to thank Steve Shirtliff, who was the acting department head, who encouraged me to apply at the departmental level. I hadn't even considered it. And you gone by. And then I really want to thank Fran Wally for putting the nomination forward from the college. And I had to read Fran's letter twice because I wasn't sure she was talking about me. So that was really great. Thank you to Eric Lamb in our department, who's been a reference. And of course, one of my TLARC connections, Nancy Turner. Of course, I have to recognize all my former professors of who I've learned lots from. It started out at the University of Waterloo and then University of Manitoba and finally Saskatchewan. So there's too many to name, but lots of good people, as well as my graduate student supervisors, Karen Bailey and Roger Rimmer. One other person I should mention is my son, who's in 3rd year. So I get no shortage of endless tips on how to teach from my son. And finally, I really want to thank the students. It's really been fun to teach undergrad students, develop relationships with many of them, my graduate students. And it's been a pleasure to not only to teach and mentor them, but also to learn from them, because I think I've learned as much as hopefully I've been able to teach. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you to your partner for convincing you that you would love it, because she was absolutely right. And we know that you love it and it shows in all that you do. And thank you for starting off our college Provost Award recipients. The next individual, very, very near and dear to me, Ulrich Teuscher, who teaches in the Department of Psychology in the College of Arts and Science, my own home department. And Ulrich was instrumental, let me just say, absolutely instrumental in building the interdisciplinary program that we refer to as health studies. It's become very popular amongst our students. Ulrich found the opportunity within the pandemic to include it in his courses. So he offered a course in health studies that was focused on the pandemic. And can I say, he had guest lecturers from around the university giving us the opportunity to come in and participate in that wonderful course this fall. Rich material that really supported our students' learning. And Ulrich, of course, has in an ongoing way is able to offer opportunities for his students to see how theory can meaningfully be applied to practice. He does that so well. And so Ulrich, we honor you today with a Provost College Teaching Award. And so here it comes, my dear friend. Here it comes. Over to you, Ulrich.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Irene, Dr. Turner, and Patty. I'm glad that Dr. Irene spoke first and had them mentioned the moon. I feel over the moon with this award. I feel very honored to have received it. It is wonderful to be in the company of you, my colleagues, who also love teaching, and many of whom I have met. So I'm very touched. I, of course, couldn't have done all of this without my wife, Jennifer, who is watching nervously from her screen. Yeah, she knows best how much she had to put up with for me doing the job that you all do at the university. I also want to take this moment to thank Marla, my dear colleague Marla Mickelborough, who did all the work of nominating me, and for being such a fine colleague with whom I love teaching this creative program. And I also want to thank the Department of Psychology, who is hosting us, and Dr. Valerie Thompson, who accompanied me on so many meetings as we were establishing this program. And so they have been very good hosts for us, and so I'm very grateful. But foremost, I want to thank our students, so our health studies students and my graduate students who took the time to write such supportive letters for me. This has really been a great inspiration for me to think of even more creative ways to teach what arguably is most important to us, our health and well-being, particularly in this time of the pandemic. So as I see you, I want to shake your hands. Kita Tamskatinawau. Thank you.
Thank you, Ulrich. Thank you. Our next award recipient is Jory Longworth, who teaches in the College of Dentistry. And Jory's nominator described him as a utility player who can play well in different positions. So Jory, I wonder that sports, there's a bit of a sports metaphor there going on there, who can play well in different positions. Of course, tells me that there's pretty much nothing Jory can't do when called to do so. Some of these, some of what Jory is engaged in include using technology to adapt to the pandemic, to ensure students in this hands-on profession learn well and learn deeply in spite of the restrictions. And so, Jory, we offer you our thanks. Dentistry has been incredibly successful over the course of this last year in keeping things going and educating the dentists of the future, and you've had no small part in that. So thank you, Jory. Here comes your diploma. Here comes your reward. Over to you, Jory.
All right, thanks very much for the introduction, and thank you for my certificate. Yeah, it's been a crazy time, but it's kind of accelerated. You know, necessity is the mother of invention, and therefore we've all kind of had the opportunity to create a whole bunch of new things that, you know, a good number of them I'd probably like to keep in action even after the pandemic. But really, I just want to thank everybody that was involved in me receiving this award, because they also happen to be basically my mentors. I've been around the school for a long time, and that's probably where the utility player thing comes in, because I've acted as a sessional lecturer, or course coordinator for a number of disciplines and done a lot of work in other fields, but I've just started as an actual tenure track assistant professor this January. So Dr. Sequeira was my nominator, but he's also been really, really valuable as a mentor. Dr. Heinrichs, he's been kind of someone I've styled my teaching after, and my interpersonal relationships with patients and students and other faculty as well. So it was really nice to actually see that he was one of my references as well. And then, of course, thank you to the students that put forth the nomination for me, or the reference, but also all of my students, because, you know, all of their feedback, whether it's formally in the SLEQs or just something they happen to say in passing in the lab, really helps shape what we do. You know, again, when you have to learn how to teach something in a whole new format, it's an opportunity to listen to everybody, including, you know, the academic office and the students, and try and form it in a way that's the best fit for everything. And then last, I would thank Dr. Musa, who I just met this year, but she was another one of my references, and I've had an opportunity to work with her, preparing a lot of lecture content this year. And Kelly Mulligan, the person who was instrumental in putting it all together. So thanks to everybody, and congratulations to all of you as well.
Thank you, Jory. Thank you, and well done. And I love the necessity as the mother of invention. Appreciate that one. Also like to think that no good crisis wasted. So thank you for that. Thank you for being so adaptable. The next award is for Laureen Mcintyre, and Laureen teaches in the Department of Educational Psychology and Special Education in the College of Education. And Laureen is committed to students, to their success, to student mentorship. She's played a key role in developing and maintaining the post-degree special education certificate program, and currently serves as her department's graduate chair. Laureen is not able to join to be with us today, but she sent a message for me to share on her behalf. So let me just read this to you. She writes to us, "I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Lynn Lemesco and Dr. Beth Bilson for supporting my nomination for this year's Provost's College Awards for Outstanding Teaching for the College of Education. I would also like to thank my current, former, and future students who continually inspire me to continue to be a lifelong learner." And so we offer her our congratulations and thank her for all that she has contributed. And we'll move next to Brandy Mcintosh, who teaches in the Department of Accounting in the Edwards School of Business. And Brandy has received a teaching award. Now get ready for this, folks. Brandy has received a teaching award almost every year since 2007. She has, by the way, this includes the coveted USSU nomination. So the USSU hands out teaching award, excellence awards every year, 10 of them. And Brandy has been nominated in every one of those for the last 6 years. She is dedicated to her students' learning and to her peers. As an early adopter of Canvas, thank you very much, Brandy, for that. As an early adopter of Canvas, she bravely took on the role of course coordinator in her department during the shift to remote learning. So not only there for students, not only there to support what is best for students, but also to hold up colleagues to make sure that they felt confident about what they were doing. So thank you so much, Brandy. Thank you. Your Provost's Award certificate coming over to you. And there, oh, look at that, was seamless. Brandy, that was seamless. We're rocking this. Please, over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Patty. I appreciate the introduction, and it's an honor to be here today, being recognized with all of these amazing teachers. Congratulations to everybody today. It has been a different year for sure, a challenging year, as we all know, for everybody and students included. And I think it's extra special for us to be able to receive these awards in such a challenging year. So, so congratulations to everybody. I would like to thank the Gwenna Moss Centre and also the selection committee for awarding me this award today. It's an honor to be recognized for something that I just simply love doing. And I am also an alumni of the U of S. Back then it was the College of Commerce. It wasn't the Edwards School of Business yet, but I had some amazing teachers in my 4 years there. And when the opportunity came up to come back to the university and sort of give back to the students as I was given to, years ago, was a great honor for me. So it's been 15 years now since I started at the university, and it's been an absolute pleasure working and working with all my colleagues. So so that's been great. I feel it's extremely important for our students to have a really good environment to learn in, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's virtually. I had that as a student, and I like to pay that back to my students, and whether that's bringing in world life examples or hands-on experience for them to learn, I think is beneficial for them. And I thank them, all of the students that I've had over the years, for all the feedback and just support and letting me know what's working and letting me know what isn't working, so that we can always fix and change those things. And it's been great to see them grow and mature over their years as a student. So that's very rewarding to me. I would like to thank my nominator, Professor Ganesh Babianathan. He has always been a support for me in my teaching endeavors over the years. He's the person that kind of got me into the whole teaching thing here at the university. So I very much thank him, and I appreciate all of his support that he's given me. So thank you, Ganesh, for all of that. And I'd also like to thank the Dean of the Edwards School of Business, Keith Willoughby, as well as our Associate Deans, Maureen Mahoney and Marjorie Delbar, for their constant support and just interest and wanting to know how things are going, and just being able to encourage all of us as teachers, especially this past year. So so that's been great. And lastly, I want to thank my husband and my 2 daughters. They have been extremely patient with me this last year as I've all navigated to being in a remote environment, and they know how important teaching is to me. So I'm very grateful that they've been so supportive over the last year, just to allow me to do what I love to do. So thank you, everyone, and congratulations to all the award winners.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you for those gracious words of acceptance, and thank you to all of our recipients for acknowledging your families and all that they have done to support you, so that you in turn can support our students. So important, so important. And I'm hoping you've got some people that we can't see that are off camera and that are feting you at home and toasting you for your wonderful accomplishments. We've got Joel Fry is our next recipient, and Joel teaches at the Graham School for Professional Development inside of our College of Engineering. Joel's dedication to student learning is woven into the new first-year engineering program. Don't know if you're all aware, we are going to rock the country with our new first-year engineering program. So visit the website and check it out. Joel and his commitment to respecting students as whole people is reflected in his invitation to join the first Buffalo Circle on campus. And so Joel, thank you so much for those major contributions. We honor you today, and we pass the mic to you.
Thanks, Patty. Are you going to do the handoff of the certificate?
Joel, I got complacent. I got complacent after that last one with Brandy. Here we go. Here we go. It's coming to you. Thank you.
See, I had to call you out because I had that planned. I thought that would be such a funny thing, and then I had to say we got to do it.
You're supporting. It's supportive, Joel. It's very supportive. Thank you.
Thanks, Patty. Yes, thank you so much. It's very humbling. It's really been an amazing journey for me personally to discover the passion and commitment that exists within the teaching and learning community at USask. It's also been really eye-opening for me to work with so many educators who recognize their privilege and aren't afraid to use that platform to stand up and set powerful examples for the next generations of USask alumni. It's really been my privilege to learn how to stand up from each of you, so thank you for that. I really have to thank Deb Rolfes, Bruce Sparling, and Suzanne Cresta for their nomination and all those who supported my nomination. And I really need to thank Sean Ma and Bruce Sparling, who took a chance on me 4 years ago and gave me a job as a curriculum developer working on our new engineering first-year redesign project. And I would say through their, somewhat questionable judgment on that call and their subsequent friendship and mentorship, they've given me the opportunity to turn my passion into my livelihood, and that's a really magical thing. I'm also very grateful for the camaraderie of everyone in the College of Engineering, especially everyone in the School of Professional Development, and everyone who has anything to do with the Gwenna Moss Centre. You are all rock stars and great friends and supporters. And of course, I really need to say how grateful I am for the generosity of Ron and Jane Graham, who've made my position possible. And I do feel like I need to give a shout out to retired Professor Dinard Lynch. I often refer to him as my teaching mentor. He gave me my first break teaching a circuits course, or actually just marking a circuits course back in 2005, I think it was. And without him, my career might have looked very different. And Dinard once gave me a piece of advice and said that the difference between industry and teaching is that in industry, they make you go home at 5 p.m., but at the university, they let you work as late as you want. And I have found that to be very true. And I know all of you know that these positions really aren't just a one-person job. It takes support to find balance to make it work. So I really want to take the opportunity to thank my amazing and beautiful wife, Isabella, for her support and her understanding when I'm sitting there recording lectures at midnight. And finally, on a more existential level, I would like to dedicate this to my late grandfather, who was a high school teacher. And I think it's no small coincidence that both my sister and I ended up teachers. So thanks, Gramps. And yeah, thank you all for this incredible honor, and congratulations to everyone today. I personally hope to be able to live up to this for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. So beautifully delivered. Thank you so much. The next recipient is Mark Epp, who teaches in the College of Kinesiology and brings with him many years of experience teaching K-12. And is skilled at facilitating transformative learning experiences for his students. Mark's student feedback tells a story of a passionate and knowledgeable educator who generally cares about their success and about their well-being. And so, Mark, we offer you our congratulations today and award you with your certificate. Thank you, Mark. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patty. And to all of you, a big congratulations. I too have come from a very supportive family network. Both of my parents were teachers, and my wife and now 3 adult sons have been incredibly supportive in my teaching journey. And in terms of the College of Kinesiology, I'd first of all like to thank the nominating committee, and specifically Dr. Chad London and Dr. Ken Kowalski for their support. Both Dr. London as Dean of the College and Dr. Kowalski as Associate Dean Academic have provided excellent instructional leadership. As Patty pointed out, I was actually a high school teacher for 31 years, and I've now just completed my 5th year teaching at the University of Saskatchewan. So 36 years in the game right now. And actually both my master's thesis and my PhD dissertation focused on relational competence, looking at it as it applied to the teacher-student relationship and also the high-performance coach-athlete relationship, something that's deeply important and meaningful to me. We know that the dyadic reality of a teacher-student relationship imbues the teacher with power and can create conditions where students may experience vulnerability, and how we manage that power is so important in terms of facilitating student well-being. And that's where the whole idea of caring for, not just caring about, emanates. And I know that when students feel cared for by teachers, it can have a profound effect on their learning experience in multiple ways. Improved academic performance, elevated sense of self-worth are just a couple of those things. And I've just, through my high school career and my university teaching career, I've just tried to convey that genuine care, and I'm so grateful that student feedback has shown me that it's being perceived. I'm also grateful to be receiving this award. It was certainly unexpected. I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to teach, and both at the high school and now at the university level. And I'm very thankful that the selection committee for the Provost Teaching Awards agreed that I receive this award. It's just an awesome moment for me, and teaching is truly for me a passion and a calling. And maybe it's overstating it to say I would do it for free, but I kind of feel that way. And then as I look at the group here, I feel there's a lot of people that feel the same way. So I'm honored to be part of this group, and humbled to receive this award. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. We bleeped out that part about doing it for free. There's just too many people on the live stream. We don't want to make those offers. And thank you for that inspiration of your scholarship coming together with your teaching. So wonderful. The next individual is Robin Hansen, who teaches in the College of Law. And Robin works to build students' skills in applying core concepts and readying them for their professions, and rose to the challenge of continuing her already excellent teaching online. During the emergency shift to remote, Robin was there. Her students note that in their words, she did an absolutely amazing job of adapting to the virtual environment. Robin, thank you so much for all of that work in the College of Law, and we award you with a Provost Teaching Award. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. You know, it's so ironic that I get a teaching award when it's online teaching, because I'm such a Luddite. So I'd like to give a thank you to my husband, who's a programmer, who's been working remotely for years and kind of walked me through how the heck I was going to manage this. And I'm so glad that by kind of sticking within my comfort zone, it worked out and the students appreciated it. And so I guess the message is that, you know, you just try to be in touch with yourself and what you're comfortable with, and that will kind of spread out to everyone else, and they can extend past their comfort zone, but still be in touch with how they're feeling and their own sense of security in uncertain times. So thank you very much. I'd like to thank Barbara von Tigerstrom, who taught the other section of torts in the fall. Lots of wonderful conversations with her about organizing the class. I'd like to thank my associate dean and associate deans and deans for nominating me. And I'd like to thank my family, my dad, a singing teacher as I was growing up. So I've kind of taken on his mellow approach to teaching, I suppose. And I'm surprised and touched and very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you and congratulations. The next award recipient is Greg Mallon, who supports our faculty colleagues and our students in the College of Medicine. Greg has long been a contributor to the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning in his field. Greg leads faculty development in his college. He acts as a mentor to students and a coach to faculty, and developed the peer observation and mentorship program for teaching in medicine, which is called Prompt Med. And he's not going to tell you this, but I also think that our own Greg Mallon is a musical theater talent. We have talent among us. So Greg, we offer you our congratulations and our thanks for all of the work you're doing, both with our students and with our faculty. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Patty, your screen is off right now, so I'm not sure if you handed it over, but I'm just gonna say that I got it. Well, thank you very much for this special honor and recognition. I would love to sing this as a musical theater number, but I was not prepared. for that. So maybe another time. First, I would just like to thank Drs. McKaig and Dr. Lawrence for taking the lead on nominating me for this award. It's very much appreciated. They're colleagues and mentors for me in the Department of Family Medicine. So very much appreciated. Thank you so much to my wife, Daria, and to my kids. Speaking of the navigation metaphor, they are my compass for all things good. So thank you to them. Thank you to the UGME staff, so the undergraduate admin team who supports me and supports all of our faculty to deliver the program and to be able to allow us to teach what we're doing. And in particular this year, I can't even express my gratitude for their dedication in navigating this. So, but beyond COVID, they are our foundation. So thank you to the staff. And of course, thank you to the students who put up with my antics day in and day out. Very much appreciated. I got into this gig first and foremost because I love to help students to learn. And now my whole scholarly practice revolves around supporting good teaching, and supporting positive learning environment for our students to support them, not only as learners, but as humans. So, so in light of this, this recognition is very, very special. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for that. Just gonna move over to try another computer. So I don't know if my camera is back on. Second laptop, here we go. Thank you for that, and my apologies to Greg for not doing the proper handoff. I will do that, try to get myself back on track. The next award recipient is Patricia King, who teaches in the College of Nursing and was nominated by a former student, Tanya Bergen, who is now Tish's colleague. Tish develops relationships that enable success and led, as Tanya describes, a project that saw the College of Nursing partner with the Saskatchewan Health Authority and Public Health to create the Negative COVID Callback Center on the USask campus. And Tish, I can tell you how thrilled and how proud we were when that came to be a thing, and when we knew our nursing students were participating in the pandemic effort. So thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. And please let us honor you today with a teaching award, Provost Teaching Award. Over to you.
Thank you, Patty, and thank you for that acknowledgement and introduction, and congratulations to everybody here. I'm reminded of a quote that a good example is worth 1,000 sermons. And so I'm just thinking of all of the examples that you've all shown me today. So thank you for that. I wanted to start and loop back to something Dr. Arini said, actually, and it was about relationships. And Dr. Pippa Grange, an influential sports psychologist and culture coach, talks about relationships. And she says that success is really about richness in your relationships. And I think every one of us here can attest to the relationships we've had with our colleagues, our families, our students, so that's really positive. I also wanted to loop back to what Dr. Arini said about use your own language. So I grew up in St. John's, Newfoundland, and I have many family watching from there today. So what we would say is, what are you at? So what are you at? So thank you to my family, and most especially to my mom, who I know is watching today with pride. So I do believe that so much of who we are comes from the people who come before us and for those who walk beside us. And I want to firstly acknowledge my family, my husband, Tony, our 3 sons, because without their support and understanding, I couldn't be the teacher that I am. They are also very patient with me recording lectures at midnight. So professionally though, I'm just one of many people in the College of Nursing. We have exceptional faculty, exceptional teachers, and I'm surrounded by excellence every day. I want to acknowledge the mentoring and modeling that I've received throughout my career at the U of S. And I really strongly believe that collegial support makes all the difference. So thank you to the faculty for walking beside me in the incredible journey of teaching at the U of S. I have learned and continue to learn from all of you. I want to thank Tanya Bergen for nominating me. So Tanya, as you said, Patty is a former student of mine, and for the last 4 years, we've shared an office on campus. And I think it's fair to say that Tanya and I are teaching nerds. We laugh and talk a lot about the latest pedagogy. Hey, have you seen this intervention or this idea? What do you think would happen if I tried this? So I really appreciate Tanya's nerdiness, and I think that our friendship has grown, and the fact that we share our philosophies is what makes each of us strive for excellence in our work. Tanya inspires me every day to be patient, and she's extremely committed to improving student experience. And so she sets the bar very high there for us as a college. I just want to acknowledge the leadership team at the College of Nursing who enables all of us and empowers all of us to be the best version of ourselves on a daily basis. And I appreciate their support of the work that I do, the work that we all do in such very trying times. So I am truly moved by this recognition, extremely surprised, humbled, grateful. So while teaching is outside of ourselves, it is a large part of who we are as well. And some of you have already spoken to that idea. So for me, teaching is about self-discovery. At the end of every day, I try to reflect on what have I learned about myself today? And how can that discovery make me better tomorrow? I also just want to acknowledge that I believe my teaching is done in rich, vivid relationship. So with my students at the center and me with the servant heart on the side. So teaching does bring me joy. It challenges me. I think it requires grit and grace. And I really tried to center my teaching around the idea of being open. And so I'll close with what I think it means to be open. So I believe our job as university educators is first and foremost to be open. So open to the learners, open to engagement and to cultivating curiosity, open to unscripted conversation, open to participative probing, open to tailoring, open to humanity, open to equity leadership, open to giving and receiving, and open to learning. I think that the best teachers are open to feedback. They're open to improvements, growth, reflection, change. The best teachers are open to creativity with risk and innovation calculated, and always open to integrity. I think that good teachers are open to noticing, to interpreting, and then responding. I think that the best teachers are open to reflection in action and reflection on action. And most of all, I think teaching is about creating moments to cherish. relationships to cherish. So as I stand here today, very humbled, very grateful, inspired by all of you, this is an open moment for me, and I will remember it and cherish it for a long time. Thank you.
Oh, Tish, thank you so much for those beautiful words. You inspire us. You inspire us. Thank you for that. The next recipient is Caitlyn Halpapi, who teaches in the College of Pharmacy and Nutrition, and turned her eye for detail and her ability to connect with students to her role as course coordinator for an essential course within the PharmD program. Caitlyn developed creative and interactive assignments and ways to connect students to their peers in the remote learning environment. No small feat, Caitlyn. Thank you so much. We offer you our congratulations on a Provost's Teaching Award. Over to you.
Thank you, Patty. And thank you everyone for this beautiful day and all of the inspiring words that have been shared. It's very surreal for me to be here today receiving this award. I don't know for all of you, but this year has been a time warp, but honestly, my career has. So my time at the university has been short as an educator, just starting at the beginning of 2019. And before that, working as a pharmacist, and not so long before that, leaving the U of S as a new graduate. So it's been really a time warp to be back here. And I feel so grateful for my position at the university, to be an educator and to share what I have learned in my time as a clinical pharmacist with future pharmacists. And that's something that I hold really close to me in my teaching, is to be able to teach the students in a way that I hope they can go out and provide the patient care that I have been inspired to provide. And today, in receiving this award, I would like to thank my nominators, Carrie Elkhorn and Dr. Yvonne Shevchuk, for putting my name forward for this award. And for Carrie, I would like to thank him for providing the guidance to help me take my clinical work and think of unique ways to share it with my students. And one of the things he did was get Greg Mallon in to teach us about flipped classrooms and different ways to assess students. So I was so grateful for that opportunity very early in my time at the university. It was so inspiring to me. And to Dr. Yvonne Shevchuk. So she was a mentor to me and inspiring to me when I was a student. And to have her put my name forward for this award, it's just gone full circle and inspires me to continue in my work and my teaching of students to hopefully inspire them in terms of lifelong learning and commitment to solid patient care. And then also, as we've heard today, relationships. So I'm so grateful for my family and all of the support they have provided. And during this remote learning context, I have to also thank my dog. Every single day, she's been on my desk, providing support to me. And also I could share that with my students as a way to connect with them. So thank you.
Thank you, Caitlyn. We're so lucky. We are so lucky that you have come back to us. Appreciate those beautiful remarks today. The final recipient for a college Provost College Award for Outstanding Teaching is Bruce Wobesser from the WCVM. And Bruce has already been recognized for his teaching excellence by the USSU and by his college. He's now being recognized again today. Bruce has contributed to the success of curricular changes in his college and has developed an experiential course, coordinated a complex communications course in support of student learning. And so we thank him very much for all that he has done. And we honor you today, Bruce. Thank you for being here. Over to you.
Well, thank you so much. I like everybody else, I'm really honored by this award. And you know, I note the number of people that have reflected on teachers that are in their family. I'm not surprised that they've had this effect on people. And you know, I guess I'll tell my story very briefly. I like to joke with the kids that I've been coming to the vet college. When I say kids, I mean my undergraduate students. I've been coming to the vet college for 50 years this year because my dad taught at the same department that I teach in now. And my dad, he actually won a Master Teacher's Award. So I've always had, you know, big shoes to fill sort of teaching wise. And he's been an incredible support and really an incredible role model. You know, and I have other great role models in my life. My mother, my wife is a teacher as well. She teaches grade 3. My kids, it's remarkable as somebody say how good they are about telling you all the things that you should be doing. These are my real kids, not my undergraduate kids. You know, I've really been sort of blessed that way. And the vet college is, you know, sometimes we're a little bit removed, I guess, from the campus, but we really are incredibly blessed by the students that we have here, and the people that are here that teach, you know, are really driven. And so to be recognized for something like this is really very, very humbling. It's been, like everybody else, it's been quite the year. And we're a college where we've had sort of a blended or hybrid model of learning. So, you know, we've done the Canvas and WebEx and Panopto, and then also we've had in-person labs. And, you know, so I would be very remiss if I didn't thank and really give a lot of credit to all the support that we've received from student services here in our college. And student services here in our college is just a couple of people. You know, it's Amanda and Paige, and they do an incredible job, you know, especially this year when you have all the little COVID hiccups when you're trying to deliver things both remotely and in person. It's been remarkable. And, you know, Chris Clark, who is the person that nominated me, has been, you know, he's been a real role model. Just amazing, his dedication to the college and to the students. And I think maybe a little bit of that, you know, rubbed off on me. It's been a remarkably fun year, even though it's been a remarkably weird year. You know, Chris introduced watch parties where the two of us and a number of students would all gather on WebEx just like this and watch all creatures great and small together. And it's been really remarkable. And I just, you know, I'm amazed at everybody else's accomplishments here, and I really am humbled to be included in your midst. And I'd just like to thank everybody. And I know I'll forget people. So in general, you know, I recognize that, like most of us, you know, we didn't arrive here on our own. We were supported, you know, we were lifted on the shoulders of giants. And I guess I feel the same way. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you for those beautiful connections through your family, and to all of you who are doing shout outs to your colleagues and to those in the college that support students, the Gwenna Moss Centre. This is phenomenal and so appreciated by the people that you're calling out to. So thank you for that. We're going to move now to the Provost's New Teacher, which is an award that recognizes excellence in teaching among faculty from across campus who have been teaching for 5 years or less. This year we have 2 Provost's New Teachers, which should tell you that we just could not decide. These 2 people were so incredible. We could not just choose one of them. So we needed 2. We needed both of them. The first person, Sarah Donkers, who teaches in the School of Rehabilitation Science, has contributed to the strategic themes of innovation, collaboration, interdisciplinary teaching, and internationalization. Her nominator, Sarah Usman, wrote of Sarah's innovation in developing opportunities for her students to practice real-world skills. For example, student-run mini clinics. And in response to the shift to remote learning, Sarah developed a robust self-reflection and feedback tool to ensure that she was supporting students who were learning online. And Sarah, thank you so much for all of that work. We're honoring you today with a New Teacher Award. So congratulations. You look super cool outside with your hat. Oh, there you are, Sarah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, super cool. So please, over to you.
I was outside with my hat, and then the internet did not hold up. So regardless, I'm thrilled to be here today and to celebrate with everyone. Thank you so much to Gwenna Moss for organizing this and for everyone being here and putting in the effort to continue to celebrate, even if it has to be virtually. This award is such an honor. Like I've heard from many of you, I've always loved teaching, but I did not come from a teaching family. And I'd say I realized pretty soon into my faculty position that I was a clinician and a researcher. Similar to Randy, I wasn't exactly trained to be a teacher. And even though passion goes a long way, my love didn't necessarily transfer into student learning. So I got very, very interested in becoming a better teacher. I got very curious about how to maximize my teaching effectiveness and optimize student learning. And that curiosity about teaching and learning just intensified my passion. So I know I'm preaching to the choir here. Teaching is fun. It's challenging, but it's rewarding. And to me, it truly is a privilege. This has been a challenging year, and I'd say at times almost a defeating year. I had to teach clinical skills remotely that got deferred to students who got pulled out of clinical placements. So the planning and the replanning that increase needs and demands from the students, but their remarkable tolerance. So all of that while our school was going through accreditation and curriculum renewal. Not like there's a good time for COVID, but it definitely didn't choose a good time for us. So yeah, the last year has been challenging and exhausting, and I know I'm not alone, but I also haven't recovered yet. So this award is truly a wonderful honor and a little bit of a refresher. So thank you to the Gwenna Moss. You really created that space, and you have been that resource that turned my passion into effectiveness, and you're a continual source of inspiration. Thank you to my nominators, Sarah Usman. I'm not Sarah Usman, but I'm using her internet. She's always there to bounce ideas off of, to give me good internet, and to partner in shaking things up. And to Liz Harrison, who's the one who got me into all of this teaching in the first place. Like many of you, thank you to my colleagues who are willing to collaborate. A lot of teaching innovation isn't possible without them. And thank you to my husband, who tolerates me doing prep into the wee hours of the night and on weekends. Similar to Caitlyn, thank you to my dog, who kept me sane and not too sedentary during the pandemic. And of course to all my students, because their diversity and learning needs have challenged me to continue to learn and to be a better teacher. So cheers to all of you.
Cheers, Sarah. And thank you to Sarah Usman for loaning you her internet. We're indebted to her. It's accreditation in the age of pandemic, right? Not for the faint of heart. Well done, Sarah. Thank you so much for those words. The second recipient of the Provost New Teacher Award this year is Joanne Liao, who teaches in the Department of English in the College of Arts and Science and has contributed to the strategic themes of inclusivity. Joanne's nominator wrote of the many innovations in learning that Joanne has adopted in her teaching to connect well with her students and maintain, even online, the inclusive and safe classroom for her students that they speak of so readily in the feedback that they provide. Joanne uses feedback from her students to grow as a teacher, and regular formative feedback for her, and offers regular formative feedback to her students so that they may grow as learners. Joanne, thank you so much for all of that hard work. And we're honoring you today as one of our esteemed new teachers. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I hope that worked. Thank you. Really, thanks so much to the Gwenna Moss Centre, to Patty, to Nancy, and thank you, Dr. Reenie, for being here as well. In 2016, I was hired by the Department of English for a job to teach transnational, diasporic, decolonizing / post-colonial literatures. So a joke I often tell people who ask what I do is I say I teach all the writers who are not dead and not white. Jokes aside, I'm honored to be recognized for this challenging work of not just expanding the field of what is literature in English, but also of holding space for the students of color who find themselves in my courses. Our campus is as diverse, as all of you know, as any major urban center in Canada, and my pride comes in showing my students that they are represented in art, culture, writing, and film.
This is actually an amazing moment for me to be able to thank my students, past and present, those who lent their names and kind words to my nomination, in particular Radiance Harris, Matthew Haydu, Lizette Gerber. Thank you especially as well to my graduate teaching assistants, especially Megan Solberg, who helped with the difficult transition to an online jumbo 120-person freshman English literature course, and whom I will be honored to mentor for her Teacher Scholar Doctoral Fellowship. So thank you so much, Megan. I'd like to thank my department for supporting me, especially to Dr. Ann Martin for putting together this nomination package, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Thank you as well to Drs. Wendy Roy, Brent Nelson, my closest colleagues and my mentors as well, Cindy Wallace from St. Thomas More College, Kathleen James Kevin, Lisa Vargo, our office coordinator, Diana Teagenkamp, and also in particular to Dr. David Parkinson, who, since he's retiring this year, will be very sorely missed. I really love dropping by his office and having conversations about pedagogy, his dedication to innovation and experimentation, even at the end of a long and rich career, was just so inspirational. I'd like to thank as well, not just the folks at Gwenna Moss Centre, but in particular Rose Roberts and Maria Campbell for holding space for me in their circles of wisdom and storytelling. Sitting in a circle with Maria Campbell in particular has been life-changing for me. And really made me really feel more connected to the land here. And of course, those who started me on this path of university teaching, I'm honored to have been mentored by trailblazers like Ray Chow, Arita Benzmaya, Otto Quason, Karina Vernon, Denise Cruz and Philip Holden, Amber Dean, and the late Donald Galnick, who was my postdoctoral supervisor at McMaster University, who really gave me a model with which to mentor graduate students with care and concern. Thanks to the writers who have continually inspired me with their beautiful stories and their fierce words. Suvankam Tamavongsa, Dion Brand, David Chariandi, Madeline Tien, Alfian Sat, Maider Vang, Hiromi Goto, Phoebe Wang, Lee Maracle, and Jordan Abel. And finally, to my families, I know my family's watching from Singapore and maybe from Italy. Thank you so much to my mom, who was a high school teacher for many years in Singapore and Malaysia. And thanks again to them because they've given so much to let me do what I love, even though I'm so far away. Thanks to my teenage sons for schooling me in contemporary culture so I can pretend to be cool to my students. And to my husband, Giuliano Gulotti, who is the most brilliant language teacher that I know and from whom I learn every day and who still corrects my grammar in French. Yup. And thank you, of course, to my pets. Everyone has been saying that. My 2 dogs and 2 cats who constantly bomb my Zoom calls. Yes, that too. And, steal the show, which is fantastic. But thank you. Thank you so much for this award.
Oh, Joanne, congratulations. Congratulations. So glad to hear your family is watching. So glad to hear that Tisha's family is watching. I'm picking up a theme about our children giving us strategic advice on how to conduct ourselves. And I don't know, we may need to form a group. We may need to have a support group to discuss that. As a developmental psychologist, I'm not sure it's right. I'm not sure. But interestingly, Joanne talked about language teaching. She talked about her wonderful partner. So we'll move next to the next award recipient, who is within our University of Saskatchewan Language Centre. And I'm just so pleased today to honor Lisa Kroll with our Provost Supportive Teaching and Learning Award, recognizing excellence in the support of course design, delivery, advising, and instruction among our QP and ASPA colleagues. So Lisa Kroll supports learning through her many roles at our University of Saskatchewan Language Centre. And her nominator, also David Parkinson, our other David Parkinson, one in English, one in the Language Centre. This David Parkinson wrote that Lisa has fulfilled every role and met every challenge in the most exemplary fashion. And as the pandemic hit and life moved online, David writes to us to say that Lisa single-handedly authored and developed 2 complete levels of online language training. Then again later, when travel ceased, put her course design skills to work to ensure the continued viability of the Language Centre courses online, supporting not only our students, but also, again, our colleagues who are also instructors in the Language Centre and making sure that they felt confident about that move to online. And Lisa, on behalf of the Provost and on behalf of the university, and most particularly myself, to have you in our portfolio of the TLSE, we offer you our warmest congratulations and honor you today with this Provost's Award. Over to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Patty. I'd like to thank David Parkinson the second for nominating me and entrusting me with such an important and challenging project. David is easing into retirement after 20 years with the 20 plus years with the Language Centre, and he's always been more than willing to listen to new ideas and what else we can do at the Language Centre. And then his famous line is, "Yeah, go try that." So thank you, David. I really appreciate that. I want to give a big shout out to the DEU and particularly Jordan App for all of their support and the training that made it possible for me to even attempt this course design. I'd like to provide much gratitude to my family, my husband Ed and daughter Daria, who have been very patient with all my hours glued to the computer screen. And as strange as this ceremony is, it's really special in that my family in Ontario is able to watch. So hi, everybody. And finally, I'd like to thank the teachers who really embraced this new course design. And although they didn't understand flipped classroom, they learned and they really made the course better than I imagined it could be and provided a really exciting and engaging learning experience for our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for working so hard. So grateful to you. The last award from me is the Provost Graduate Student Teacher Award that recognizes promise and potential among graduate students who have taught or assisted teaching for at least one academic term. And this year, that award will go to Emma Chen, who studies in the Department of Curriculum Studies in the College of Education. And Emma's nominator, one of our master teachers, Debbie Kusher, who put together such beautiful words about Emma, wrote about Emma's dedication to students, her development of rubrics. We like a good rubric, Emma, we like a good rubric to support their learning, and her ability to create a climate of inquiry. As Debbie wrote, Emma's ability to integrate theory and practice and to bring home and school learning environments together make her an outstanding instructor. We're so proud of you, Emma. We're so grateful that you've chosen to do your graduate work here at the University of Saskatchewan. And here you are, a Provost Award winner already. Congratulations, over to you.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you so much. So this must be what the Oscar winners feel. I want to thank the Gwenna Moss Centre for presenting me the award and thank the committee members who voted for me. And of course, my husband Wei and my two beautiful daughters, Molly and Luna. Hi, you guys. We're going to watch the video after Molly comes home from school. I appreciated Dr. Irini's opening remarks in many languages in our community. And I want to echo that warm greetings with my heritage language, Mandarin Chinese. 你好，我很荣幸. Hello, I'm very honored. As a very new scholar and teacher in post-secondary education, I feel like a child walking among giants today. Congratulations to you all. You are all wonderful examples of great teachers. I'm grateful for being part of a very supportive system in my department of curriculum, College of Education, the USask community, and the larger academic world. And I want to dedicate this award to my supervisor, Dr. Debbie Kusher, who has been an amazing role model, mentor, and friend during my journey of research and teaching. She's always there for me, and as she always says, to lift me up. She's the kind of teacher I want to be. I also want to dedicate this award to my students who welcomed and/or challenged the diverse perspectives I brought into my teaching. We moved beyond mainstream and examined early literacy teaching and learning through the eyes of the minoritized. In College of Education, I think teaching has two folds of meaning. I teach the future teachers who are going to teach our next generations. So I feel the responsibility. It is beyond teaching strategies. I personally believe that education is all about social justice. I cherish the opportunity to be present in teacher education as a visible minority female educator with an accent. And I will keep taking on my scholarly responsibilities in my future teaching. 非常感谢. Thank you very much.
Emma, I offer back to you the phrase shusha, which I hope is the correct pronunciation of thank you. Shusha, Emma, to you. And that will conclude. Shusha, thank you for that. That will conclude the awards presentation this afternoon. And I'll just close by saying, some of you have referenced your surprise at receiving these awards. And I can tell you with great certainty that after listening to each of you speak this afternoon, there isn't one among us in this audience who is in any way surprised that you are this year's recipients. So thank you so much. I'll pass back to Nancy, and then Nancy will pass over to my colleague for one last award.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Patty. And thank you to all of the award recipients for those absolutely beautiful and inspiring words. I think that this has hit the goosebump scale for me in terms of the number of times that I just felt completely moved by what you have shared. So thank you all so much, and congratulations. So I now have the pleasure to invite Dr. Debbie Bergen, who is the Dean of our College of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. And I think this is Debbie's first celebration of teaching as well. She's been at the university since last September, but has not been able to attend one of these before. So it's wonderful to have you here, Debbie. And I am very pleased to welcome you to present the Distinguished Graduate Mentor Award. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. And really, I have to start by congratulating all of the awardees and all of your inspiring words. And I would be very remiss if I didn't really draw on that theme of relationship that we have heard as being so pivotal this afternoon, as we're now going to turn our attention to this award that celebrates a distinguished graduate mentor. And that award actually underwent a name change by wise counsel before I got here, from supervision to mentorship. And I really want to underscore that we mean a lot by that word. And increasingly, we really understand how much that one-on-one relationship with our graduate students means, not just for their academic success, but really for their overall well-being. And that couldn't have been more magnified than this year during the pandemic, when that key relationship was really a lifeline for many of our graduate students. And so it's really a great pleasure for me to be here and to recognize and celebrate an individual who models excellence and innovation in the practice of mentoring graduate students. Our Graduate Mentorship Award aims to recognize graduate faculty who have a reputation of being exceptional mentors, not only to inspire our graduate students to be creative in their thinking, but also to encourage their students to reach new directions and to impact and influence the future. So I am pleased to introduce to you Dr. Jeanette Lines. Jeanette directs the MFA in Writing at the University of Saskatchewan, where she is also a professor of English. And she built on many years of supervising literature and creative writing graduate students at a number of institutions. And she brought that to our university with her hands-on mentorship style, her extensive community connections, and her excellent reputation as a writer. She has a tireless work ethic, and she has attracted many, many creative and driven students from across the country and increasingly from across the world. And she fosters an environment where students are nurtured and challenged and can develop their abilities as professional writers. And I have to say, something that was amply demonstrated by the compelling nomination that we received, written by her students. Since 2011, Jeanette has supervised 46 USask graduate students. In her words, her goals are advocacy for my students, mentoring students to better understand who they are as writers and citizens, being a role model in terms of demonstrating that writing is hard work and there are no shortcuts, building community and collaboration during workshops, and enhancing critical thinking and research skills. She also creates a safe and inclusive space for students to grow as writers, celebrating their successes, and so on, is what's written in my notes. And well, co-authorship is not between supervisors and students that common in creative writing. Dr. Lines has helped foster countless outlets for the creative expression of her students through supporting them to publish in many prestigious literary journals, as well as organizing readings and festivals. So Jeanette received the University of Saskatchewan College of Arts and Science Distinguished Researcher Award in 2019, but please join me in congratulating her on her Distinguished Graduate Mentor Award. And Jeanette, over to you to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Dr. Burston. I can't see myself on the screen, but I'm going to make a leap of faith that I'm here. Oh, I am here. I am here. Thank you so much. And thanks to you also, Dr. Mcdougall. And congratulations to everyone. It's just the more this has gone on, the more I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry. But truly, it's an honor to be here today. And it means so much to me to receive this recognition. I want to give a heartfelt thanks to my colleagues in English who are just the best, and Dr. Lindsay Banco in particular, who put in a lot of work to put together the nomination package, and to my graduate students over the past 10 years. My gosh, the conversation just keeps going on, and they talk about the creative process. That's always what it's been. You know, we're always making things, and we work in words. We all work in words. In creative writing, that's kind of on steroids, working in words. And words can do a lot of things. Words can interrogate. Words tell the truth. But words also can make beautiful things, and we need that really, really badly. And I so wish I'd written this short poem. I haven't. It's by a poet I greatly admire, and we haven't had a poem yet, so forgive me, it's a bit strange, but it's called Good Bones by Maggie Smith. Life is short, though I keep this from my children. Life is short, and I've shortened mine in 1,000 delicious, ill-advised ways. 1,000 deliciously ill-advised ways I'll keep from my children. The world is at least 50% terrible, and that's a conservative estimate, though I keep this from my children. For every bird, there is a stone thrown at a bird. For every loved child, a child broken, bagged, sunk in a lake. Life is short, and the world is at least half terrible, and for every kind stranger, there is one who would break you. Though I keep this from my children, I am trying to sell them the world. Any decent realtor walking you through a real shithole chirps on about good bones. This place could be beautiful, right? You could make this place beautiful. That's by a wonderful American poet, Maggie Smith. And man, I wish I had written that. But when I think of the honor I have to work with the graduate students I have here at the University of Saskatchewan, and the colleagues that I have, they're brilliant. I think of that line, you could make this place beautiful. And the University of Saskatchewan, the College of Arts and Science, the Department of English, all my graduate students, my colleagues, the writers in the writing community, the mentors, who work with our students in the MFA in writing, they help make this place beautiful. And writing is hard. You all know that. I know you know that. And it's lonely. We've been locked down for a long time. So, you know, you're almost already locked down when you're just trying to write something. We double lockdown, and my graduate students have stepped up magnificently. They haven't just stayed the course. They've innovated new things, and I'm in awe of them. So they are the ones steering this ship, truly, and I have endless admiration for them. And you know, mentoring, I love my classes where I'm in a bigger class. I love teaching undergrads, but you know, when I'm sitting a one-on-one talking to a writer, what do you want to write? What is your dream as a writer? What is your, you know, be brash. What is your goal as a writer? What do you want to do? You know, and they said, well, I don't know. I always just kind of wanted to. I said, no, say it. And you know, it's not even any grand theory in the end. Mentoring writers, which is my great passion and joy in life. You know what it is? It's what I know you all do anyway. It's all, you know what? You can do this. You've got this. So that's it, you know, and I'm the luckiest person in the world to, not gonna cry, but I am the luckiest person in the world. So thank you very much for this honor, and this has just been a wonderful ceremony, and I want to see you all in person sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. That was such a beautiful, beautiful kind of wrap up and ending. So thank you for sharing those words and for sharing that poem as well. It was wonderful. And congratulations to all of you, to all of the, I say dedicated and inspiring teachers. It seems like not enough of a strong description of this wonderful group of colleagues who have just been. It's been fabulous to spend a few hours, and I know that I speak on behalf of everyone who's joined us on the live stream. Last check, we had over 200, so quite a number of people joining us virtually for this celebration. We've certainly had lots of shout outs. I know that those joining on the live stream have not been able to see our chat that's happening here in WebEx. But we have had lots of shout outs from the recipients to each other. We've had Laureen the Supreme was a great way to start it out, and Super Sarah, and all sorts of other wonderful kind of accolades and comments about and to each other. And it's been just wonderful to hear about those of you who have really long legacies of teaching and who have had impacts across the institution, and not just on your own students, but on your colleagues and some of those, you know, fellow recipients today. And we also have heard of the strength that we have here in this group of people as allies who stand up and take action for change, and as well new entrants into the teaching profession, and many who are champions of equity and social justice. So it's just been absolutely wonderful to hear from all of you this afternoon. Certainly, I heard you speak of being inspired and supported by colleagues and family, those teenagers that are constantly giving us tips and hints on how to do and be better, and helping us with our technical issues as well. Certainly we've all been lifted up by our partners and our families through this, and your stories and sharing of how your families and colleagues have helped to lift you up this year, but also you know, throughout your teaching career has been, again, very very inspiring. I think Bruce used the phrase standing on the shoulders of giants, and I think it's a good one to describe what you've all conveyed here today. And while I know that we would love to have all been in person, and we will have to make sure that we actually get this group together when we're all able to be back together, the format that we've had this in has meant that we've had family and colleagues who have been able to join us from across the country and around the world. And that's just a wonderful testament to all of you. And again, a great example of all of the relationships that, that you all bring and that help to sustain us through this time. So I am going to wrap things up there. We are going to end by having everybody who's on the call just unmute and clap. Give a clap to each other. So unmute and clap, everybody.
Good job.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here. And thanks to everyone who's joined us on live stream. Good afternoon and have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye, everyone.